Chapter 11, Separating Programming and Presentation, GSP Technology. Have you an idea about GSP? Any idea about GSP? GSP stands for what? Abbreviation of Java. So GSP, Java Server Pages. Java Server Pages. So there is a relation between GSP and servlets. We will see together what is the relation between GSP and servlets. So the common thing is Java. GSP use Java. Servlets also is a Java program. But here GSP is a page. Okay? Like PHP. And now we will use GSP for you. Why? Why we don't use only servlets? Why we use GSP? Any idea? So the response is here in the title. We want to separate programming and presentation. For this reason, we will use GSP technology. So keep in the mind that GSP is the abbreviation of Java Server Pages, and we use GSP technology to separate programming and presentation. It is clear? Okay. So servlets or ch8 approach is a server-side code. So server-side code is a program with HTML embedded. So when we write a servlet, here we will write what? We will write a Java class. And a Java class is a program. So, okay, this class has to extend HTTP servlet, but this is a class. And in this class, we can embed HTML. So HTML is embedded in this class. So for example, we can write after that servlet out.println, and we will write a code of an HTML code. So we will write servlet out.println HTML body, etc. Now for GSP, for Java Server Pages or PHP or ASP, the server-side code is a document with program embedded. So why? To support cleaner separation of program logic from presentation. And with this approach facilitates division of labor between developers and designers. So if we compare now servlet and GSP, the common thing is Java. We will use Java and GSP. We will use also Java to create a servlet. The difference, servlet is a program with HTML embedded, but GSP is a document with a program embedded. It is clear the difference between GSP and servlets? Any questions? Okay. This is an example of a GSP document. So here, okay. Yes, of course. So in this slide, we want to compare servlet and GSP. So the common thing between servlet and GSP, servlet is a server-side code, or server-side, yes, a server-side code. Also, GSP is a server-side code. That means if we want to execute servlet or GSP, you have to prepare a Tomcat server to execute this code. Okay. Another common thing between servlet and GSP is Java. So servlet is a Java program. GSP also use Java. Now the difference between servlet and GSP. Servlet is a server-side code, but this code is a program, and in this program we will embed HTML. So when we write a servlet, we will write servlet out.println, and after that we will insert HTML code into println. But when we write a GSP page is a document, like PHP is a document. And in this document we can find HTML and GSP code. So it is a document with the program embedded. We will embed in this document the program, the GSP code. So the difference between servlet and GSP, servlet is a program with HTML embedded, but GSP is a document with a program embedded. It is clear now? So this is an example of a GSP document. So here it is a document. This is a document. And when we save this document, for example, let's suppose that this document is exercise 1. Here the extension must be GSP. This is the extension. So for a PHP document, the extension is .php. For a GSP document, the extension is GSP document. Okay. And now this is in this document we can find two things, two parts. Or the first one here, this is a simple HTML tag. So this is an HTML. This is an HTML. This is also HTML. So in the blue, HTML. Here we have GSP. This is a GSP. It is clear? Okay, let's begin with this tag, this HTML tag. So in this tag, we will write XML and S. What's the meaning of XML and S? This attribute. Why we use this attribute? This attribute is XML namespace. XML namespace, to provide the vocabulary of this XML. That means in this code, in this document, we will use what are the tags that can be used. So here we can use all the tags of XHTML, but also we can use also GSP tags, C tags. So GSP tags and C tags here are prefix. What's the meaning of prefix? That means when we will use GSP tags or C tags, we will write GSP. After that, the tag here. Also, when we use C tags, we will write C. After that, the tag here. For example, I want to use F with C. I write like this. I want to use scriptlet or output GSP. I write output like this. But for HTML tags, without prefix, so here directly I write head as an HTML tag. Head, title, etc. It is clear? Any questions about GSP, C prefix, and HTML tags? Okay. So in this GSP example, this example used HTML as root element. So we can use HTML generating tools such as Mozilla Composer to create the HTML portions of the document. And GSP can generate other XML document types as well. So that means we can use GSP to generate other XML documents. We can generate other XML documents, not only HTML documents. Like Java servlets also, we can use Java servlets to generate XML documents, to generate Excel file, to generate any other types of content. So XML&S, HTTP, www.3org, etc. This is to specify XHTML tags. This is to specify GSP tags. This is to specify C tags. After that, what's the meaning of this tag? GSP directive page content type equal text HTML. Can you explain me this tag GSP directive page content type text HTML? So in servlet, this is equivalent to write what in servlet? In servlet, we will write response dot set content type text HTML. Yes, very good. So that means we want to set the content type as a text HTML. So to write a response.set content type text HTML, we use JSP directive.page content type equal text HTML. It is clear? Any questions? After that, so let's so here we in this example namespaces we have GSP, basic elements, normal prefix GSP, and core GSP standard tag library with a prefix C. So the tag library means of adding functionality beyond basic GSP, and GSTL included in with GWSDP 1.3 version of Tomcat. So GSTL provides tag libraries in addition to core more later. So here, if we want to write GSP document, we can use only this tag, this namespace. So we can use only this namespace, only GSP, okay? But there are some other functionalities provided by the tag C. For this reason, we add the tag C. So C is the abbreviation of Core GSP Standard Tag Library. It is clear? So here the difference between GSP and C. GSP provides the basic commands or basic basic elements, and the prefix C provides adding functionalities beyond basic GSP. So what's the meaning of GSP directive.page content type text HTML and GSP output omit XML declaration yes, doc type root element HTML, doc type public W3C, doc type system, etc. So directive.page is typically used to set HTTP response header. As shown, default is text XML. So if we don't use this line in our example, okay, so the document will be an XML document. The default is an XML document. Output similar to XSLT output element, so controls XML and document type declarations. Now, so this part, what's the meaning of this part? What's this? What represents this part? Yes, it is an HTML part, and here we want to define the title of our response. So the title of our response is hello counter.gspx. Yes, very good. So here, when we execute this GSP example, we will find hello counter.gspx here in the title bar. Very good. Now we will continue with this example. So the next tag will be what? Here, the next tag will be what? Will be body. Very good. Body. So body tag. So body, after body we will write GSP scriptlet. So what's the meaning of GSP scriptlet? This is a GSP tag, not an HTML tag. GSP scriptlet. This is a GSP tag. And in this tag we can write any Java code. Any Java code can be write here. So we can embed a program in my GSP file. For example, here I can write int a equal 5, int b equal 6, c equal a plus b. Any Java code can be inserted into GSP scriptlet and GSP scriptlet. It is clear? Okay. So template data like XSLT, this is the HTML and character data portions of the document. And for scriptlet, Java code embedded in document. While often used in older non-XML GSP page, we will avoid scriptlet use. So here, we will avoid scriptlet use. One use is to add comments that will not be output to generated pages. Here, we just use GSP scriptlet to add comments, okay? But the idea is, it is more better to not use this GSP scriptlet because we want to separate HTML from we want to separate presentation from programming. So what's the meaning of this? What's the meaning of GSP scriptlet? So I can write here HTML body GSP scriptlet and GSP scriptlet and body and HTML. And here I will write only Java code. So the code of all the code of doGet of a servlet can be inserted here. It is clear. So in this reason, there is a separation between presentation and programming. I can separate presentation and programming using this way to write a GSP file. Yes or no? What's the meaning of separation between presentation and programming? That means some designers focus on creating HTML content with CSS files, etc. Yes, and other programming focus on creating the Java code. But using this way, there is no separation. All the code will be inserted here. Here, all the code will be inserted here. It is like writing Java servlets. So for this reason, there is no separation if I only use GSP scriptlet with embedded only Java code. And for this reason, we want to avoid the use of GSP scriptlet. So GSP scriptlet are used in the old GSP files. It is clear the idea? Now we will use C prefix. C prefix. So what's the meaning of CF? That means if belongs to C prefix. Set belongs to C prefix. It is clear? So here we want to write my GSP file is equivalent to visits counter, servlet visits counter, and we want to write the same code using GSP. So here I write CF test equal empty visits, C set variable visits scope application value equals 0, C sets variable visits scope applications value visits plus 1. This is using this code, I will test if the visit is empty, is not created. I will create this visit, this variable visits with value equals 0. Otherwise, I will add +1, I will increment visit +1, and after that I will display the value of the visit here. This page has been viewed plus the value of the visits. So let's see together what's the meaning of if, C, set, etc. So here we will use core tag library with and this library supports simple programming. For example, if conditional, empty is a predefined keyword and returns true if variable is non-existing or undefined. Set, that means assignment. Application scope means that the variable is accessible by other GSP documents and other users. So here, scope application, that means the variable is shared by all the GSP documents in my web application. It is clear? Any questions about this code? Now, any questions? Is this clear? Okay. Now we will move to see together what is the relation between GSP and servlets. So there is a relation between GSP and servlets. So GSP documents are not executed directly. This is very, very important. GSP documents are not executed directly. When a GSP document is first visited, web server, for example Tomcat, translates the GSP document to a servlet. After that, compiles the servlet, and the servlet is executed. If there is an exception, exceptions provide traceback information for the servlet and not for the GSP. It is clear? So this is very important. This point is very important. So keep in mind that GSP documents are not executed directly, but are translated to a servlet. And after that, if there is an error, so after that, I have a GSP document, and this GSP document is translated to a servlet. If there is an error in compilation or in execution, this error provides an information about the line in the servlet and not in GSP. That means the server provides us an information or a traceback information for the servlet and not for GSP. Other questions? Okay. So a GSP generated servlet has GSP service method rather than doGet or doPost. So in GSP, in HTTP servlet, we have to write doGet or doPost method. Okay, but when a server converts a GSP file to a servlet, the method created in this servlet is GSP service. This method begins by automatically creating a number of implicit object variables that can be accessed by scriptlets. These variables are request, instance of HTTP servlet request, response, instance of HTTP servlet response, session, instance of HTTP session, out, instance of GSP writer. What's the meaning of this variable that can be accessed by scriptlets? So all this variable can be accessed by scriptlets. That means here, for example, I have GSP scriptlet and GSP scriptlet. I can write directly out dot println h1 so out here is a print writer. Okay, I can write also directly request dot get parameter b, for example, and here I have to write string x equal. So out, this is a predefined object. This is also a predefined object. I can use all these objects, request, response, session, out, directly in scriptlets. It is clear? Okay. Translating template data. So head, title, hello counter, and title and head body, all this data, sorry. All this data will be translated by out.println. Head, title, hello counter, and title and head will be translated here. By out.write, out.write head, out.write title, out.write hello counter.jsp, etc. This is the manner to translate HTML code when we translate into a GSP file or a template data into a GSP file to a servlet. So we have a GSP file, and this GSP file will be translated into a servlet. And when we translate this GSP file, there is some HTML codes in this GSP file. So this code will be translated as out.write head, out.write title, etc. It is clear? Scriptlets are copied as is to servlet. Yes, when we execute a GSP file, that means we will send a request to Apache Tomcat. When we execute a GSP file, that means we will send a request to Apache Tomcat to execute this GSP file. The server, the Apache Tomcat, translates automatically this GSP file to a servlet. And here we discuss together this translation, how Apache Tomcat translates this GSP to the servlet. But it is automatically done by the server. Now scriptlets are copied as is to the servlet. Why? Why scriptlets are copied as is to the servlet? Any idea? Because scriptlets contain what? In the scriptlet we will insert what? So in scriptlet we will insert Java code. For this reason, all the content of GSP scriptlets will be copied as is to servlet. It is clear? After that, scriptlet can be written to use the implicit Java objects. For example, here, when we write GSP scriptlet out.write p hello plus request.get parameter username plus p, all this code will be inserted as is into servlet. Yes, of course. Here we discuss how a GSP file can be translated into a servlet. Yes, here we discuss the manner used by Apache Tomcat to translate a GSP file to a servlet. So when we find when Tomcat server finds GSP scriptlet like this, it extracts the content of GSP scriptlet, copy paste to the generated servlet. So we will avoid the use of scriptlets because it defeats the separation purpose of GSP. And we can incorporate Java more cleanly using Java Beans technology and tags library. We will discuss Java Beans in the next session, inshallah. GSP elements translate to, for example here, response.setContentType text HTML, out.write, etc. So here, in the previous example, here, this content, this one, will be translated as response dot set content type text HTML. Also, GSP output will be translated to out.write, etc. So response.setContentType here for the first and out.write for the second. So $visits in template code translates to out.write of value of variable. So here this will be translated as dot.write the value of visits. Value of visits. Any questions? It is clear? Okay. Web applications. What's the meaning? What's the definition of a web application? This is a question. يعني هذا جاء سؤال في الفاينل الماضي. Define web application. Web application is a collection of resources that are used together to implement some web-based functionality. Resources include compounds. I am.
لا خليك كلاس ولا كل شيء. طيب مو كل شيء. طيب ليه مش ممكن على الجوال ثاني ولا على أي شيء ثاني؟ ما عندي فين جوال ثاني؟ ما ينفع كذا. هيام. النت معك ما ينفع صراحة. لا شو بيحل؟ إيش يقول؟ كتبت شيء.
Please close your mic. Resources include compounds, servlet including GSP generated, and other resources. We can find HTML documents, style sheets, JavaScript, images, non-servlet Java classes, etc. No problem. Let's move now to GSP expression language. So when we write $visits +1, this is an example of an EL expression embedded in a GSP document. So dollar is the syntax used in GSP documents to mark the contained string as an EL expression. So an EL expression can occur in template data, evaluates to Java string, or as the value of certain GSP attributes, evaluates to data types that depends on context. Okay, this is an example of when I write string name equal Ahmed with type name literal. So for EL literals, we can find true, false, decimal, integer, floating point, scientific notation, numeric, literals, strings, null, etc. So when we want to write variables for EL variable names is like Java, can contain letters, digits, must not begin with a digit, and must not be reserved, like and or div or mode, etc. We can find also the same operators: relational, logical, arithmetic. Empty is an operator that gives us true if the argument is null or empty. A conditional, array access, etc. So like Java. For conversion, EL automatic type conversion for plus is like other binary arithmetic operators. Plus does not represent string concatenation here. Otherwise is similar to JavaScript. Array list access. So if EL scoped variable represents Java array or java.util.list, and if EL scoped variable index can be cast to integer, then can access elements to a variable by a variable index or a variable dot index. We will continue with Java beans classes in the next session, inshallah.